Hi Aries, and welcome to your June 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign. Welcome Aries, I hope that you are feeling alright in this very interesting time of Gemini season, moving into Cancer season. You have a lot of choices to make this month. So moving straight into June, you will be definitely working with your system of value, as we all are this month, trying to understand what is valuable to you, trying to understand how you want to spend your energy and your time, and getting stronger through that. So this month, Aries, you are going to really start to become very clear as we prepare to move into July with Cancer season coming on and creating a T-square to your energy, which in astrology means that there's an opposition. The Cancer transiting in the sky, we have Cancer season opposite the triple Capricorn conjunction, and whatever you have in Aries is going to, by transit, create the energy of a T-square. So that is oftentimes kind of like a slingshot, you know. It really is a catalyst type of transit, and it really will motivate you to probably want to make changes, but there could be a little bit of friction within some of those changes. And Aries, it's interesting. I think that you have a lot smarter way of doing things coming in. I think that you have a much more authentic horizon, like right on the edge of this month. And I think you have a lot more creative endeavors that you can really start to dip your toes into here, because there's something about your energy that becomes very confident after this time. And I'm not going to lie, June of 2020 and July of 2020 to a degree are going to maybe be a bit of a grind for you, but within that grind, there's going to be some great success and there's going to be some great value for you. And as you go through the grind, you know, going through 10 of Wands, going through 9 of Wands reversed, you are going to really start to understand how you don't have to keep seeing yourself there, how you don't have to keep going through those experiences of burnout, really. Okay, so on that note, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and get into your week to week and just go straight into the energy, and we'll try to understand a little bit more how you can get through this time without burning out, and how you can heal old feelings of burnout as well. So week number 1, Aries, you have the Lovers rooted down by 9 of Wands reversed. So yes, feeling like the crossroads is burning you out a little bit, having all of these decisions to make. I think Aries is one of the signs who has had some of the most big decisions looming right over their head. And you might feel like it's just gone on and on and on. You know, 9 of Wands is kind of like walking up the stairs of a really tall building, and you're not quite to the top of the building, but you're almost there, and you've got another few flights of stairs, but it's not quite there, but you know it's there, but this is the hardest point. And that's right at the crossroads for you too, with the Lovers energy. And even some romantic relationships could possibly feel that way as well, like you've just almost gotten to where you want to be. You know there's still a bit of an uphill battle, but it's there, but you're a little tired. So feeling this perhaps even exhaustion that you have in the beginning of June, Aries, really take a second to think about the rigidity of the fixtures in your life. This is really important in this Capricorn year. It's not to say that we can necessarily just stop what we're doing, you know, quit our job, have the breakup necessarily. I mean, in certain circumstances, we can definitely do those things, but it's about understanding why it started the way that it did, why it was upheld the way that it was, and what it has also given you. And through understanding the higher moral of the story that you've been in, Aries, because this is what the Lovers represents. You have these two people, these two flesh, body-oriented experiences, you know, physical experiences. And then above that, you have this angel depicted in the card, which just means that above these choices is a bigger moral. So this is really important, Aries. And June of 2020 is really going to show that to you, especially the first week, where you're like, okay, it doesn't even freaking matter which way I go. It doesn't matter left or right. What matters is this overarching moral. And that moral is going to be different for everybody. But I think that it really has something to do with the way you're outputting energy and the health of your body, and also certain spectrums of fear as well. So really embracing your own fearless energy. Aries is probably the most fearless sign of the zodiac. So it is good to always overcome any of these old fears. And moving into the second week of June, Aries, you have 10 of Pentacles rooted down by Wheel of Fortune reversed. So coming into ownership of something, growing your own personal sense of wealth. Again, whether this is physical, emotional, spiritual, growing your reserve. There's something of a reserve for Aries coming in, and this is interesting, and that really makes sense for the Capricorn year. So a great time to save more than you ever have, or to see your accounts grow, or to see investments grow, or to see that your hard work is growing into something bigger than work now. And that's kind of the ultimate evolution I'm feeling for Aries, is either coming to a point or starting to aspire to a point where your work and your output of energy is not the only thing that gets you by. It's not the only thing that pays you, or not the only thing that keeps you solid. You know, great to get smart here, Aries, to get really intelligent. Now, that's rooted down by the Wheel of Fortune reversed, so no gambling, okay? No tricky ways of getting more by like tricking. Not that you guys would ever do that. I mean, there's all kinds of Aries, there's all kinds of every sign. But in this Capricorn year, we have to be very above board and very tried and true and very smart about what we do, and very and it's hard, like especially for the fire signs, to wrap their minds around this, like Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, to conform to these very mature Earth constructs. It can be a bit like ADD, like oh, I just can't wrap my mind around it. I cannot quite grasp what it is, and that's okay. It's one thing to not be able to, and it's another thing to refuse or to choose not to. Sometimes there's a certain transit, you know, as a fire sign and as an Aries specifically, if you have no Earth, or if you have no Cancer, or something that connects well with Capricorn energy, it might kind of just go over your head. And that happens sometimes astrologically, where there's so many things in the sky that we just do not have a lot of personal connection to, and it just kind of flies over us. But obviously, if you have something in your chart that's really connecting to the Capricorn energy, then you've got to get smart, and you've got to hone it, and you've got to really bear down and pare down these things and figure them out, okay? So just do not have the gambler's mindset during the second week of June, or during any part of this year, really. Because we're in a strong Saturn year, you know, and Saturn rebukes the concept of gambling. So we've got to be very clear about where we're putting our money, where we're putting our time, where we're putting our effort. Is it all on a gamble? It's got to really be scrutinized and made into something very regimented now. So week number 3, you have 10 of Wands rooted down by Knight of Wands, and you are regimenting. You are getting things in order. It's okay, Aries, with that previous message in mind of really paring down. It's also okay to scrape a few things off your plate too, and to add other things to your plate. 10 of Wands, I'm learning a few different things about that card right now, where sometimes we like to be in 10 of Wands, if we're grasping onto the things that we enjoy and doing the things that we want to do, we love to work hard at it. But other times we really cannot stand 10 of Wands energy if we're holding all those things that we don't want to do, or just tending to the tasks of other people. So this is where your creativity takes you a million miles further in the third week of June, as we move into Cancer time, as that T-square prepares to set itself up over the next month. You are going to learn how to work smart, and you're going to learn how to really know what you want on your plate and how to follow through with that. As we move into Cancer season, a lot of us are going to see that our families need us, or someone's like, okay, I just need to put a little bit of what's on my plate onto your plate, and that's just going to have to be okay. And there's something a little bit demanding, and we've got to really be able to have boundaries, stand up for ourselves, and to really know clearly what we want on our plate. And here's the other thing, okay? And I hate to say this, Aries, but I think you'll love it in a way. It's kind of like idle hands are the devil's handiwork as well. If you can put onto your own plate what you know that you need, what you know is not going to betray you, you're going to really be immune to other people trying to get you to do their jobs for them. Sometimes when we have a lot of empty space on our plate, 10 of Wands shows us this. When there's a lot of empty space, people will volunteer our empty space and be like, okay, you can do this for me, you can do that for me. Whereas 10 of Wands, he can't do anything else, so nobody's going to volunteer him. But at the same time, he's not in a great place. So there's a lot to learn about what you're taking on, Aries, what you're envisioning for yourself, how hard you're working for where you're getting, and is there a smarter, easier way to make this happen that is more creatively inspiring with Knight of Wands rooting that down. Creativity and intelligence and enjoyment of life is a key concept for you here. Week number 4, you have the 3 of Wands reversed, rooted down by Queen of Cups reversed. So really moving on, okay, really disconnecting from people who are not interested. So for those of you who've been through a breakup or who have had some kind of like loss of a friend or something, try to not worry too much about it. The 3 of Wands reversed is about no longer looking at people whose backs are turned to us. You've really got to free yourself up and start to put onto your plate things that are not so much having to do with other people or other people's progress. This is a very cardinal-oriented year. Aries, a cardinal sign. You're a cardinal sign. What that means in astrology is it's a progression. It's a linear path forward. And you can't be adhering and acquiescing to everybody's needs and wants and spinning around in circles. Otherwise, you're not going to have progress. You've got to move forward, okay? You've got to start moving forward in the 4th week of June. Some of you probably totally already have by that time. But if as an Aries, you're looking at this and you're hearing this reading, 4th week of June comes in, there needs to have been a little bit of a forward motion by then and not so much focus on other people. Again, not that all of you are focusing on other people, but if you are, that needs to be healed up by the 4th week. Queen of Cups reverse, reading that down, says that you've got a wealth of emotion and a wealth of emotional energy coming back in by adhering to this stopping of looking at people whose backs are turned to you. I know that's complicated, but that's a complicated energy line there. It basically just means you heal and become so much more emotionally vibrant through just focusing on your own path. A little bit of selfishness here, Aries, I'm not going to lie. Now, what does that mean? You could take that the wrong way. It doesn't mean narcissism. It doesn't mean like, being mean, or if you have like someone that you love who's truly in need and you need to help them, sometimes that is the path forward. But a little bit of selfishness. If you have all these people, all these myopic, unneeding people who are trying to take from you, that needs to be overcome. And you need to really be clear about, at what point in time do I help somebody? At what point in time do I give somebody a loan? At what point in time do I help somebody with whatever menial task that they're facing in their lives? And at what point in time do they start to then expect that from me all the time? And there's a lot of kind of 6 of Pentacles relationship coming in for you too. As you've gotten to 10 of Pentacles, you now have something, you now have more energy, more time, more reserve, something like that. And it's getting really like it feels like conscripted with the 10 of Wands. So you got to be really careful about letting other people leech off of you or anything like that. But other than that, Aries, it's mainly a month of a moral for you. This month gives a very strong moral. I love the Lovers. I love 10 of Pentacles. I love Knight of Wands coming up for you. Creativity, overcoming, and giving back to you. And being your ultimate sort of trump card here is your creativity, okay? And your ability to do that in a very above board and actually methodical way. There's some good methodical energy here for you, which is rare for Aries. You're more of like a burst of energy sign. You go in like bursts and then you rest and then you burst, and it's more methodical for you here. So really interesting. Anyway, Aries, I'm going to be putting together an extended reading on Patreon. I hope that you will all come over and check it out. I'm really excited for you to see it. We're going to look at a central theme and 2 supporting themes and understand more about what this time is trying to teach you. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as thumbs up the video and let me know how it resonated. I've got a few links in the description box if you would like to follow on social media or, get these readings on Patreon or whatever. So I will talk to you guys later. Much love. Enjoy your month. Let's jump over to Patreon now for the extended.